Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll show you a science fiction horror film, ANTIVIRAL. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. Set in the near future, fans of celebrities are not satisfied with collecting their idols' posters, buying the products that are endorsed by celebrities, or even their personal belongings, like smelly underwear or their dumplings. Instead, fans now desire a connection with their idols through injecting themselves with the same viruses and other pathogens that their coveted celebrities have. The Lucas Clinic is a company that sells the viruses that are harvested from superstars to fans. The clinic hires the superstar Hannah as its spokesperson, which greatly increases the virus popularity. The clinic is always packed with clients. Sid works as a salesman for the clinic. One day, he receives a young man who comes for Hannah's virus. Sid displays all the viruses that Hannah was infected with on a table. Each virus has a label attached to it, and the clinic store the viruses according to the labels. Sid is an excellent salesman. He successfully sells the most expensive products to the young man. Every day, Sid needs to receive new clients and inform the old clients to come and try the new products. As the leading company in the industry, the Lucas Clinic is strict with the control of viruses. Every staff member must go through a security check before they leave the company after work. However, Sid is not just good at sales, but at stealing too. Whenever there is a new product, Sid will inject some into his body before he gives it to the client. When he comes home, he uses an old console that he hides in the wardrobe to extract the virus out of his body. However, he becomes weak from doing this from time to time. One day, Sid takes the stolen virus for sale as usual at the flesh market, in which human meat is produced from the cells of celebrities before selling to the fans. Every day, there are lots of customers coming here to buy meat products. The market owner also trades viruses on the black market. This time the market owner is not interested in the new virus that Sid brings to him. It turns out that somebody else has sold the virus on the market. Sid would like to know which colleague stole it. The market owner doesn't tell him, as it is a basic rule not to reveal the trader's information. When Sid arrives at the office, his colleague Derek is arrested for stealing the company's property. They also discover a console in Derek's apartment, which was made obsolete by the company. The company decides to check all the consoles and finds out there is another one missing. The boss talks to every employee, trying to find out who stole it. When it comes to Sid, he pretends to be calm while talking with the boss. Luckily, his boss doesn't suspect him, and he gets away with it. The boss asks Sid to take Derek's place and collect virus samples from Hannah at her home. Sid is very happy to hear that. Actually, Hannah is his absolute favorite. He dreams about her every night. When Sid arrives at her house, he sees that even her room looks the same as it is in his dream. The living room is full of flowers. A seriously ill Hannah is resting in the bed, with an eye shade over her eyes. Even though she is not well, Sid still gets excited when he sees her red lips and fair skin. Sid calms himself down and takes some blood samples from her arm and puts them into a safe box. Having confirmed the safe box is locked, Hannah's assistant lets Sid leave the house. Sid opens the safe box in the toilet with his own key and injects some of the blood samples into his body. However, he doesn't expect that he will experience some severe symptoms so quickly. He becomes so sick that he can't continue his work. He can barely stand properly. He goes home, extracts the blood, and puts it into the machine to do an analysis. While he is waiting for the results, he passes out. A while after, he is awakened by a knock at the door. He finds that the machine has overheated and broken down. He has to hide his blood samples before he fixes the machine. He gets dressed and goes to the landlord to ask what happened, where he sees the TV broadcasting the news of Hannah passing away. Right then, Sid panics because he is infected with the same virus. He hurries to the meat market to ask the market owner for help, where people have lined up to buy the last piece of Hannah's meat. Sid hopes the market owner can help him fix the machine. The market owner warns him to be careful. Hannah's virus became extremely precious after she died. Before she died, Sid took her blood sample. And now he is ill. People trading viruses on the black market will figure out that he has her virus. By then, everyone will fight for the virus in his body. Because Hannah signed an exclusive contract with the Lucas Clinic, they can advertise and exaggerate her death to attract more clients. Soon, the demand exceeds supply, and people are all competing for the viruses that Hannah had been infected with before. The Lucas Clinic even offers virus sets. None of these interests Sid at the moment. He's suffering from a mysterious sickness. One night, the market owner asks Sid to meet him and tells him that he has a way to fix his machine. The market owner leads him to an underground lab where the market owner trades viruses secretly. There, Sid meets the market owner's partner, Levine, who offers him another machine. However, it is out of date. Levine promises to give him a new machine in exchange for some of his blood samples. Sid refuses and is going to leave. The market owner forces him to stay and takes blood from his body. The market owner rudely cuts Sid's skin open and takes some rash samples. After that, they dump Sid on the street and ignore him. Sid struggles to his feet and wants to eat something in a restaurant. Suddenly, two men dressed in black suits come in and kidnap him, putting him in a car. Soon after, the car pulls over in front of an old house in the outskirts, where Sid meets Hannah's personal doctor and assistant. The doctor analyzes the virus that Sid has and confirms that it is the same virus as Hannah infected. Sid also sees Hannah, who is still alive, but this time she is not wearing an eye shade. Hannah is coughing blood every day and is getting weaker and weaker. Sid learns from the doctor that this virus is not a natural virus, but a modified version of some virus that Hannah had before. Apparently, somebody made this virus and got Hannah infected on purpose. In order to stop the person that poisoned Hannah again, the assistant faked Hannah's death. The doctor can't cure Hannah, but he finds that this virus is a variation of a number 1 virus that Hannah was infected with 3 years ago. They suspect that someone from the Lucas Clinic is responsible for this. The assistant asks Sid to help investigate it and find a way to heal Hannah and himself. The doctor gives Sid some medicine to ease his symptoms. During the conversation, Sid learns that the doctor is also one of Hannah's fans. The doctor even implants some of Hannah's cloned skin on his body. The doctor admires Sid's courage in injecting the virus into himself. He thinks Sid just wants to experience Hannah's pain. That night, Sid dreams about Hannah again. When he wakes up in the middle of the night, he realizes he starts to spit blood. He can't fall asleep, so he goes out for some fresh air. He is not the only one who can't sleep at night. He looks up and sees Hannah standing at the window. The next morning, Sid returns to the clinic to work. He learns from the virus keeper that the last person who had access to the number 1 virus was his colleague Derek. Sid doesn't know much about Derek. Later, he follows the market owner secretly to his lab and holds him from behind with a knife, threatening him, demanding to know about the number 1 virus. However, the market owner is much stronger than Sid. He gets rid of him quickly. The market owner tells Sid that his partner has left him. He doesn't want to get involved in this. With that information, Sid has to leave the market owner and goes to Derek's place. He breaks into Derek's house, but he doesn't find any useful information. The good thing is he finds a good engine from Derek's machine and uses it to fix his own machine. Sid starts the research of the virus immediately and sends the result to Hannah's doctor in no time. Through investigation, the doctor finds that the Lucas Clinic's competitor Vol&Tesser company may have something to do with it. The doctor discovers that the virus that Vol&Tesser patents is very similar to the one that Hannah and Sid were infected with. While they are making progress on the investigation, Sid is getting weaker. The only thing that supports him now is his love for his idol Hannah. One day, Sid can't help walking into Hannah's room and sees her sleeping on her bed with an intravenous drip maintaining her life. Sid wants to touch her face, but wakes her up by accident. Hannah is startled and vomits a lot of blood. The assistant comes and asks Sid to get out. After leaving the room, Sid is abducted by Levine's men and locked in an empty room where his life will be streamed and watched by Hannah's fans, who are grieving over Hannah's sudden death. They all want to know what happened before she died. Now through watching Sid, they can see the symptoms and how painful it is. Levine earns a lot of money and popularity by broadcasting Sid on reality television. Sid is deteriorating quickly without any medical help. He starts to vomit blood like Hannah does, and has visions. His bedding is covered in blood. Even though he is in pain, he is still waiting for a chance to escape. One day, Levine comes into the room to give Sid a health check. While he has his back towards Sid, Sid takes his chance and stabs him in the mouth with a needle. Sid runs out of the room, leaving Levine screaming in pain. He takes a female staff member hostage and finally manages to escape. While in safety, he contacts the boss of Vol&Tesser. He has also figured everything out while he was incarcerated in the room. It's revealed that Vol&Tesser company bribed Derek to steal the number 1 virus that Hannah was infected with and used it to produce a number 2 virus. Derek injected the number 2 virus into Hannah's body while he was doing a health check on her. Because Hannah signed an exclusive contract with the Lucas Clinic, Vol and Tesser Company is not allowed to sell the viruses that Hannah has. So Vol and Tesser thought of an idea. They put the virus on the market first, then infected Hannah with it. In this way, they could hype the new virus, using Hannah's death. The boss of Vol and Tesser worries that if this goes to the public, it may harm the company's reputation. Therefore, she agrees to save Hannah the next day. However, Hannah is too weak to accept any medical treatment. As for Sid, he got infected by himself. Vol and Tesser doesn't intend to spend lots of money on saving him. Sid comes up with a plan, and offers Vol and Tesser Company a deal that both of them can benefit from. He suggests Vol and Tesser buy Hannah's body, and clone her bones and flesh in an afterlife capsule. Among her organs, a beating cloned heart is a symbol that Hannah is somehow alive. Later, when Sid shows up again, he has been hired as the senior technician at Vol and Tesser Company. His job is to look after Hannah's afterlife capsule. The company will continually develop and administer new viruses to Hannah, and then sell them to her crazy fans. At the same time, when there is nobody around, Sid would cut Hannah's skin, drink her infected blood, and shares her pain, as he always did before. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.